Good morning, FirstU. Good morning. I maybe did a bell. There's no bell. Good morning, FirstU. Hello. We have a special sung prelude today, which is going to be sung with Three Rivers singers leading you today. But please feel free to join them. The lyrics will be on the screen above us as usual.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carmen Contreras, and I am a member of the board of directors here at First Unitarian Congregation. I was going to say university. And I have 6 announcements for you this morning. Have you ever wondered why many people of color cringe when someone says, "I don't see color or race"? This coming Tuesday, November 4, in room 3, join Dr. Bruce Suyi from Cowtan University for an important presentation connected to our 8th principle entitled Colorblind, a particularly polite breed of racism. The next men's breakfast group event is this coming Friday, November 7 at 8 a.m. in Fellowship Hall. Breakfast will be followed by a presentation on Artificial Intelligence, AI, part 1 of 2, by our own Chuck Trimestra. Please see the EUU for how to RSVP. Now, Fall Fair is less than 2 weeks away. It's just barely over a week away, at least for the preparations, and we still need more volunteers. Come join the fun. We need bakers, drivers, volunteers at several booths, and help with cleanup after the sale. Email ffvols@firstunitarianottawa.ca or look for Evelyn if you can offer some baking, or Eva on the yellow apron for everything else in Fellowship Hall after the service. They will be here. Now we have 3 interesting events today. First, if you feel new to FirstU, Please join us at noon today for the Introducing Ourselves session so we can meet each other. Check in at the welcome table after the service for details at the back of the church. At 12:30 today in Fellowship Hall, please join Amanda Joint because she will share some marine mammal hydrophone recordings and pictures from her work with Oceans North. She will also tell us how this informed her thinking about Inuit management and self-government. And finally, tonight at 7 p.m. here in Worship Hall, Unitarian Universalist folk legend Joe Jenks will entertain us in a special fundraiser for our congregation. Tickets are $30 at the door, but there is a pay-what-you-can option so everyone has a chance to attend. This should be a great event. Please bring your friends. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. I'd like people to pull out their order of service and join me in reciting our land acknowledgement words that are at the bottom of the order of service. We acknowledge, it's not there, is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin Anishinaabeg territory, and that the work of reconciliation is a responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm the Reverend Lara Cowtan. My pronouns are she and her, and I welcome you this morning. It is so good to see all of your faces here. I hope you enjoyed that extra hour as much as I did. You know, always on a Sunday morning when the time changes, I double check and double check and double check all night to see if I got that spring forward or fall back thing right. Anybody here with me on that? Yeah. So I'm joined this morning by our worship associate, Alexis McKenzie, and our music director, Jen Burnson, and all of you who are here in person in the sanctuary and all of you online. It is our coming together that creates a sacred space. Yep, there's a camera back there. Can we just turn around and wave to that camera, let people know that they are welcome? You are here with us. And a special welcome to those of you who are visiting for the first time or coming back for the first time in a long time. We're delighted to have you with us. This is a vibrant and growing congregation, and it's an exciting time to be here. All are welcome here. Whatever your journey, physical or spiritual, what brought you to this place, your gifts and your wounds are welcome. And whatever you come here seeking this morning, may you find that the time we spend together helps you to live a life of integrity, service, and joy. And I'll see you all tonight at that concert, right? It's going to be fantastic. So this week, because we are in our pledge season, which is fun, talking about stewardship and ways that we can support this growing community, to share some words about their connection and commitment to this congregation for our annual stewardship drive, I introduce Justine DeJager to come forward.
Okay, yes, I have a pledge pitch. You know it's serious business because I'm wearing a button-up and I showered this morning. So, here we go. So for those I haven't met, my name is Justine DeJager. My wife Tara and I have been congregants at FirstU since 2018, so for the last 7 or so years. We had been looking for a welcoming, a vibrant, thoughtful, social justice-oriented community of faith, and after the first service, we knew we'd found the right place. We left that service really impressed by the soul-affirming readings, reflection, and songs, and importantly, the warm welcome we'd received at the coffee hour after. The green mug thing to introduce yourself as a new member was inspired, and continues to be. We have celebrated also many milestones now at FirstU. So our wedding 4 years ago, so right here, and just last year, the blessing and dedication of our son, Robbie. Hi, Robbie. We are proud to call FirstU our religious home. He looks very confused. I have appreciated being able to practice here as a Christian Unitarian Universalist amidst people of a variety of faith traditions and beliefs. As a family, we value a faith community dedicated to welcoming all people of all backgrounds and that advocates for social, economic, and climate justice. Also one that doesn't just talk the talk when it comes to things like poverty reduction and reconciliation, but walks the walk through projects like the Food Cupboard and our affordable housing project. But why we are perhaps most passionate about financial support for FirstU of late is our growing family. A couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to mentor a wonderful young person as part of the coming of age portion of the religious exploration program. And I'm so excited to be able to raise our child in a faith community focused on that radical inclusion, pluralism, and exploration. The growth of young families in our congregation is such an exciting thing to see, and something that requires resources to support. So as we're continuing to foster contemplative and eye-opening services, fulfilling our commitments to social, economic, and climate justice, and preserving retrofitting this wonderful building, which provides crucial space for worship, for celebration, mourning, meetings, music, sanctuary, and gathering. So my family looks forward to increasing our pledge again this year, and if you are able, we would encourage you to do the same, or for the first time, please donate. In a time of increasing societal fractures and social isolation, it is perhaps more important now than ever to invest in collectives that challenge that trend and that are reflective of our values and beliefs. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Justine. Our theme for the month of November is learning from our ancestors, the wisdom keepers, the change makers, the ones who have shaped our lives and our world. We begin this morning with a message from Dr. Jane Goodall, renowned primatologist, environmentalist, and humanitarian who became a beloved ancestor on October 1st. Her spirit continues to speak to us across time and space through her parting message, a gift of final words to humanity, offering wisdom, humility, and enduring hope.
In the place where I am now, I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind. What message do I want to leave? I want to make sure that you all understand that each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters, and you are here for a reason. And I just hope that that reason will become apparent as you live through your life. I want you to know that whether or not you find that role that you're supposed to play, your life does matter. And that every single day you live, you make a difference in the world. And you get to choose the difference that you make. I want you to understand that we're part of the natural world. And even today, when the planet is dark, there still is hope. Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, you become apathetic and do nothing. And if you want to stay, what is still beautiful in this world, if you want to stay And as we destroy one ecosystem after another, as we create worse climate change, worse loss of diversity, we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place for the children alive today and for those that will follow. You have it in your power to make a difference. Don't give up. There is a future for you. Do your best while you're still on this beautiful planet Earth that I look down from where I am now. God bless you all.
Okay, odd promo aside, that was a lovely parting gift from such a remarkable human being. And now I will need my special helper for this morning to help me light the chalice. We have lit our chalice this morning with these words called We Are People of Memory by Kimberly Carlson. As inheritors of our ancestors' legacy, we hold their stories tenderly, gleaning wisdom from diverse journeys, united in hope for the future. Guide us to trust and love as we kindle this flame together. And now I invite Jen to lead us in our chalice song.
Chalice, chalice, burning bright, help remind us with your light of how we want to live each day, with love and truth helping lead the way.
Good morning, everyone. You see Julia rushing there to turn my mic on. There we go. I am Jody McIntosh, the Director of Religious Exploration, and my pronouns are she and her. And this morning, I have a special story that's very dear to me. So as I tell a little story, I'm going to be putting some things on my altar. So this time of year, when the leaves fall and the air turns crisp, something changes, something magical happens. The world feels quieter and softer, and it's as if the earth is taking a deep breath before winter comes. And in the pagan tradition, we call this time Samhain. Many people celebrate Halloween, a modern holiday with roots in Samhain. But Samhain focuses more on remembering our ancestors and less on the tricks and the treats. Samhain is the turning of the year. The leaves turn orange and red, then fall to the ground. Sam and Hazel, can you put some of these leaves on for me? You can put the leaves on, and you can put some of those on. Thank you. The nights stretch longer, the gardens stop growing, and the animals begin preparing for the cold and the dark. It's the end of the harvest. It's beginning of a new season. Can you put our harvest apples on our altar for me? You want to put an apple on? There we go. But it's also something more. It's the time when the veil between the worlds, between the living and the dead, are thin. So thin that you might feel someone who has passed right with you. Perfect. I feel my father close at Samhain. Thank you, Mika. Can you go sit down now, sweetie? Can you go sit down? Thank you. I feel my father close at Samhain. He passed several years ago, but this time of year I feel him near. I remember his laugh, his awful dad jokes, and his love of trains. He loved trains. Not just the big ones that he would sit all day by the side of the highway waiting to go past, but also the model ones that he would painstakingly paint and decorate and create buildings and houses for his miniature railway. I learned from him patience and attention to detail. Can you sit down, sweetie? Thank you. But it's not just my father that I remember. Here's my father. It's not just my father that I remember, it's also his parents, the ones that I never met because they passed when my father was a young boy. I think of their parents and their parents before them and people that I never met but who shaped the world that I live in. People whose choices and dreams ripple through me and helped make me who I am. Samhain is a time to honor them all, to say thank you, to remember that we are never truly alone. I have a rock here to remember my ancestors. And I have an offering for them as well. And it's funny, when I grabbed cookies this morning out of the cupboard, they were maple cookies, which were my dad's favorite. So I have a little offering there. We walk with the love and wisdom of those who came before us. Their stories live on in us. So I build this altar. I light candles. I just locked it. Hang on. Okay, let's pretend that I lit the candle. I have a little one here that I can light. Much easier. There we go. I light candles. I place offerings, an apple, a piece of bread, some cookies. I speak their names. I tell their stories, and I listen. Because sometimes, in the quiet, I hear them. I hear them in the rustles of the leaves, in the whistle of a train, in the warmth of a memory. I feel them. And I wonder, who do you feel close to at this time of year? Who do you remember? Maybe it's someone you knew well, or even a pet that you loved dearly. Maybe it's someone you only heard stories about. Maybe it's someone whose love still echoes in your heart. If you'd like, you can imagine placing something here on my altar. Something for them, a photo, a flower, a favorite food. You can whisper their name. You can tell their story. Because when we remember, they are with us. And in this time when the veil is thin, they are never far away. So I'll give you just a moment to think of what you might place on this altar. Thank you very much for building my Samhain altar with me, my friends. We will now sing the children on their way down to their classes.
Everywhere,
Giving you the precious stuff.
everywhere you may go. Allez en paix, que vos jours soient remplis de bonheur et de joie et d'amour pour toujours.
Each time we gather for worship, we set aside a moment to share the joys and the sorrows, the burdens that we carry on our hearts, and those that we wish to lift together in celebration. Together, we recognize the cycle of life and death, and the circle of love, compassion, and witness that is at the center of this and every sacred community. Let us prepare our hearts for sharing with one another. I invite you to relax, to take a deep breath in and know that that breath is connected to all other breaths. Maybe scrunch up your shoulders and close your eyes. Shake out your hands a little bit. We settle into this time with the sounding of our bowl. It is the tradition of our community to drop stones into bowls of water, and the stones symbolize what we carry, the burdens and the joys, what we want to share from our hearts. And as the stones enter the water, the ripples expand and expand, carrying the messages from our hearts through everyone's and out into the world. From that larger world community, we offer stones today of joy and gratitude for the Toronto Blue Jays, whose incredible season brought a very welcome spark of excitement and pride to this country. And a stone of shock and grief for the continuing violence and massacres in the Sudan, for the innocent lives lost, the families displaced, and for all those living in fear. And a stone of concern and compassion for the people and land of Jamaica and neighboring islands as they recover from the devastation of last week's hurricane. And today, from among our community, we have one caring card at the table for you to add your names and wishes as we share a stone of healing and care for Isabel Burrows, who's recovering from a fall and a broken femur. May our healing energies reach her. Each ripple joins the others, joy and sorrow and hope and heartbreak, moving outward, carried with the great vision of our coming together. We offer stones of joy for those who have come here today with a joyful heart, and those celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, milestones of sobriety, new beginnings. We all celebrate with you. And we all hold also those burdens that we share, the griefs that may be amplified in this time of remembrance. It is a truth of our human condition that on any given day we may hold a variety of joys and sorrows. I invite you now, as you feel called to do so, to come forward and share in this ritual by selecting a stone and placing it in the water. The final stone, as always, to represent those things in our hearts that we are carrying silently, our own and in the world. May we lift our hearts together in prayer, meditation, to send our love with these ripples. Let us join now in a minute of silence.
Today's anthem, in the bulletin it says it's going to be performed by Three Rivers Singers. Actually, it's going to be Isla Choir. This is a group that I work with outside of my time here at FirstU, and they have a concert of protest music coming up on November 30th, and so we're here to sing this beautiful piece for you today. This is originally a piece of protest music written during the Syrian Revolution. And it expresses the idea that the voices of those who have left us continue on as we sing and in what we do. It's very beautiful. The arranger of this particular version of it is of Palestinian origin, and she has a personal dedication in this piece to the ongoing Palestinian struggle for freedom and dignity. And she hopes that the universal message of this melody resonates with everybody, reminding us that the voices of all those who have been silenced continue to resonate in our music.
You
Thank you for blessing us with that this morning. Will our ushers now please come forward? Thank you. This congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. The offerings collected each Sunday help us to live into our values within the congregation and in supporting many good works beyond our walls. Whether you're here in Worship Hall or anywhere else, we rely on one another to keep the congregation vital and resilient. If you have any questions on how you can give in support of the work of our community, please go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how to make a donation or contribute to your annual pledge. If you have a smartphone handy, you can use the QR code on the screen or on the back of your order of service to make an online donation. Today, we offer this affirmation of gratitude for the gifts shared today. Let us be grateful when we're able to give, for many do not have the privilege. Let us be grateful for all those who share their gifts, for we're enriched by their giving. And let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may be held by the generosity of others. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of our larger community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, and loving one another. May the work of our hands and the generosity of our hearts be given in gratitude this day.
What a gift it is to be here with you. We began this morning with the voice of Dr. Jane Goodall, scientist, teacher, and now honored ancestor. Her life's work reminds us of the deep interdependence of all living things, and her parting message calls us to hold on to hope, to remember that we belong to the great family of the earth. Our November theme, Learning from Our Ancestors, invites us to remember that we are never truly alone. Our ancestors are always with us, reaching out to us as we reach out towards them, in love, in longing, in gratitude, sometimes in grief, and sometimes in much more complex emotions. Where do we come from? What are we? Who are we? Where are we going? These questions are as old as humanity, and these are questions of identity and purpose and belonging, questions that tie us to those who came before and to those who will follow. November is a season of remembrance. It's the veil between the living and the dead that feels so thin this weekend. Across cultures with Samhain and Dia de los Muertos and All Souls Day, people pause to honor their dead, remember, and give thanks to the web of life that holds us all and makes all things possible. This is a month to ask, what are we carrying from the past into the future? And whose voices are whispering to us across the ages? The old saying goes, you can choose your friends, but you cannot choose your family. You know, even if we wouldn't have chosen our family members as friends, those bonds are deeply meaningful and have shaped us in ways that perhaps our friends could not. There's something grounding about being with those who share your stories, your humor, your quirks, the people who just get you because you have lived the same narrative. I was visiting recently with my mother and my brother and cousins and aunt who were in town, and it was striking how just a movement of a body or a twitch or a laugh told me, yes, these are my people. The shorthand that my brother and I and my mother and I can talk in, finishing each other's sentences, or just with a look. I can't raise one eyebrow, but she knows I mean that. The stories passed around the dinner table that connect us back generations and generations, and with each telling of the story, there's something new in each telling. My own family roots, they stretch back to some of the first European settlers in Canada. My mother's people, the Eddy and McIntosh families, were proud Empire loyalists. The women called daughters of the Empire, strong and independent women, a long line. My father's family came from Iceland, hardy farmers who carved out a life in northern Manitoba. And when I visited Iceland many years ago, distant cousins, 5 generations removed, they claim you still, like a long-lost sister, showing me the land that my great-great-grandmother walked. There's pride in these stories, and also pain. Woven into every lineage are threads we'd rather not see or celebrate. The poverty, the hunger, the silences, the abusers. The family secrets or patterns that resurface in unexpected and harmful ways at times. In my own case, the knowledge that my Eddy ancestors were the ones who owned the E.B. Eddy Match Company. Infamous here for horrendous working conditions and toxic pollution around here and in the Ottawa River. That too is part of my DNA. To learn about our ancestors is to face both the light and the shadow, to acknowledge the gifts and the harm, the love and the loss. And we are shaped by it all, and we are accountable to it. The writer Ralph Ellison said, "Some people are your relatives, but others are your ancestors. And you choose the ones you want to have as ancestors. You create yourself out of those values." Now, this takes us to the definition of ancestor versus relative. But our faith agrees, our tradition agrees that relatives give us our genetic makeup and ancestors give us the meaning and purpose. Relatives are the people we tell stories about, and ancestors are the ones whose stories we carry forward as we make the changes in the world from our learnings. Some of our most powerful ancestors are not linked to us by blood. They are teachers and mentors and neighbors, or Dr. Goodall's, who loved us into this place, who loved us into being who we aspire to be, who we show up as in the world. My seminary provost, Dr. Sharon Welsh, would ask each new class each year, who has loved you into this place? Who has shaped your courage, your compassion, your values, and your sense of purpose? Claim these ancestors, especially in this time. I'm going to ask you to share, just in a whisper, out to that ancestor. Whisper the names of those who have loved you into this place where you are now. Following indigenous wisdom traditions, we can widen the circle even farther. Our ancestors include all our relations, not only those of our blood, but of the land and the waters that hold us, the four-legged and the winged ones, the trees who breathe out the air that we take in. And as Dr. David Suzuki reminds us, we have breathed in our forebears, and our grandchildren will take us in with their breath. Every breath is a sacrament, he writes, a renewal of our link with our ancestors and a contribution to generations yet to come. We are literally made up of one another. The atoms in our bodies once belonged to ancient stars, to Neanderthals, to whales, and woolly mammoths. Every breath connects us to all who have ever lived and all who will come after. We are indeed one. This sacred understanding is central to many indigenous teachings. We are not separate from creation. We are part of an unbroken circle of life. And when we forget that, that's when harm follows. We inherit not only songs and recipes, but also systems. Colonialism, racism, environmental destruction, harmful family patterns that continue to shape our world and manifest themselves in massacres and genocides and the returning of authoritarian regimes. The poet Dion Brand writes, "People use arguments as reasons for not doing what is right or just. It never occurs to them that they live on the cumulative hurt of others. They want to start the clock of social justice only from when they arrived. But one is born into history. One is not born into a void." We are born into history. Our privilege, our freedoms, even the land we stand on was shaped by those who came before, sometimes through generosity and sometimes through great harm. And to learn from our ancestors is to face this truth honestly, that we live on the cumulative hurt of others, and that healing is our work now. We cannot change the past, but we can refuse to repeat it. We can listen deeply to those who have been silenced, and we can choose to repair instead of to deny. When we name the wrongs of colonialism, when we confront racism within and around us, when we care for land and water instead of exploiting nature's resources, we honor not only the ancestors who suffered, but the ancestors who dreamt of a better way. And Dr. Jane Goodall reminds us that hope is born in action. She said, "The greatest danger to our future is apathy. To be good descendants is to refuse apathy, to rise to the work of our ancestors and what they began and what the future generations deserve." The call to be a good ancestor is the call to face that history honestly, to listen to those who have been silenced, and to participate in healing and repair. is not only to remember, but to transform, to ensure that the pain of the past becomes the wisdom of the future. This is what learning from our ancestors means. And so in this season, when the veil between the living and the dead feels so thin that we can reach back through an altar, through a photo, through a candle, I invite you to take a moment to open your heart and to listen to the wisdom and the learnings and the missteps in order to be able to transform. Whose face or voice comes to mind when you think of your ancestors? Perhaps it's a parent or a teacher or a friend, some great figure from history, a Gandhi. Perhaps it's someone whose name you don't know, but whose courage or creativity or faith made your life possible, paved a way for your journey. And maybe it's someone who hurt you deeply and whose story still shapes you, still has power over you. Calling you to choose differently. What message might this ancestor whisper to you now across that veil of memory and time? Is it an apology? A blessing? A challenge? Is it simply, keep going, you've got this, I'm with you? For some, ancestry is complicated or unknown. Some have been cut off from their family stories through adoption or enslavement or diaspora or estrangement. And others may simply not wish to claim their lineage. But as we know, ancestors are not only about our blood. Those who have shaped us are not only human. The earth remembers you. The air that fills your lung connects you to every living being who ever breathed. You have ancestors of spirit and artists and activists. We will become ancestors ourselves. To be a person of ancestry is to live humbly and gratefully, aware that we walk upon the shoulders, we stand upon the shoulders of those who came before. But people of ancestry, remember that we did not arrive here alone. There are so many with us who came before. Our ancestors hand us the unfinished work of love and justice and say, we've brought it this far. The next step is yours. In this way, we are part of a sacred chain of being. We are not small or separate or insignificant. As Dr. Goodall reminded us, our voices carry the breath of those who came before and the hope of those yet to come. May we learn from our ancestors the good and the painful alike, so that we might become good ancestors ourselves, that others may learn from us, healers, justice seekers, and keepers of the breath of life. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Please rise in body or spirit for our final hymn today, number 1001 in your teal hymnal, Breaths by Issei Barnwell and Senegalese poet Brago Diop. So please.
As we extinguish this flame, may its light live on in us, in the stories we carry, in the love that outlives loss, in the breath that connects us to those who came before and those yet to come. Though the flame is gone from our sight, its warmth remains, guiding us through the season when the veil is thin and the ancestors whisper, "Remember." Please rise one more time, body or in spirit, and join us in sing our closing hymn, Spirit of Life.
Today we'll be doing it once through, half in English, half in French. Thank you.
Rise,
As we go forth from this place, may we remember the ones who walked this earth before us, those who dreamed, who struggled, who planted and prayed so that we might be here today. May their wisdom guide our choices and their courage steady our hearts, and their unfinished work call us onward. May we walk gently on this good earth in gratitude for all our relations, the land, the waters, the winged and the rooted ones, knowing that every breath we take is shared with every being. Go now in peace.